Hey, WheelSnipeSelly here. It is Monday, May 1st, 2023, and we are on the ES chart. I'm over here, top left, we're looking at the week. So we went up and we hit the April 17th high, and then I'll kind of drill down on a 4-hour, but we had a 4-hour swing high that we took out at 42.05.50. And then we had the consequent encroachment of this week of this wick here for Monday, January 30th. So that was at 42.14.25. And then we had the buy side up here. So that is our weekly. And then our daily is basically, I mean, the weekly and the daily on Monday is always the same. So this is kind of what we're looking at here. Let's just go down on the big chart. And let's look at the 1 hour. So what we have here, we have our opening. Here's our new week opening gap here. We traded down, traded higher. We took out the Asia range buy side, and I was looking to take out the sell side in the morning. It didn't do that, so I should have kind of pumped the brakes on there, but I was watching ICT on Twitter and basically tried to do 2 trades and kind of broke the rule that it should have just been class and I shouldn't have been trying to trade. And I think I kind of got in my head a little bit and was kind of taking them as signals, and I wasn't really in my groove when I was making those trades. So I had 2 losses, then I stopped. I was basically done for the day. I was watching at the end of the day to see if there was an entry, but there wasn't anything that I liked. So let's go down to 15-minute real quick. So 15-minute, right at 9:15, we were just a little bit shallow from taking out 41.81. I would have liked to see this taken out before moving higher, but it just kind of left that intact. We came up, we took out buy side, we kind of chopped around a little bit, then took it out again, came back down, took out sell side, back up to the buy side. Let me show you the 4-hour. This is where I got my... Right here on Wednesday the 15th at 1800, this is the swing high that I had noted, and we just swept that. And then I was basically looking for a short after we swept this and didn't really find an entry. Nothing that was clean. So let's go back down. Let's go to a 5-minute. So we'll go into this here in a second. But so after we swept here, there wasn't like a real clean break in market structure. So there's a little tiny fair value gap here, but this is just all kind of chopping around. So between 12 and, I don't know, 230. Then it just ripped lower. There wasn't an entry for me to get in. I was looking to short if it came up and took out the buy side once more. So once it kind of came up here, I was looking for sell side right here, and this eventually delivered basically well past the 4 o'clock close. So let's go down into the 1 minute. Yeah, so basically I'm kind of bummed at myself here for trying to trade while ICT was kind of tweeting out, because I feel like I wasn't kind of following my normal process. And to me, I don't know about you guys, but it looked like he called the market both ways. I'll kind of show that here in a second. So he was initially calling buy side here, and in that recording, I'll kind of he basically called 4200, and then once this failed, he called sell side down here at 41.85 and 41.81, and I basically flipped and tried to take a short. So let's go into that. The first trade I took was a late entry. I did like the buy side. Like I said, I would have liked this to be cleared out first, so that should have this should have invalidated my AM session that we didn't take this out. So coming in here, we have the 10 o'clock fair value gap that he called out. and was looking for this to run to 42. So once it got up here, let me find the tweet here. So right here. And so the other thing is that the dollar was super bullish today. So I don't know why we would be favoring that buy side. So once I saw like the dollar ripping and this just kind of swept above this, I was like, okay, yeah, let's definitely look for a short here, because I wanted to take out this sell side here. So let me pull up. So he basically said from the 10-15 fair value gap, where is that? Let me go to the 1 minute. 10-15 fair value gap, 5 handles, and then it I'll kind of put this here. So that way he was basically done with the trade right there with that 5 handles, and then it was hanging around the new week opening gap. So let me just explain my trade here. So I went in, I saw that it didn't take out this 41.9825. So I was looking for that to this to be like relative equal highs and come down and then push through. So that's what my initial buy was. Let's go down to 30-second. That's where I took the trade. So I labeled this my order block with a fair value gap. So I entered here with a 5 handle stop loss and got stopped out, which is fine. I was still under the impression that we were going to take this out, at least this level. So we fell short of it. I think next time if that happens, we have to take a swing low out before I were to go long again. But so that was the first trade, and that was fine that it was a loss. And then he tweets out right here, he calls out sell side. And then so when I saw that, I was like, okay, yeah, I can probably flip the sell side with this, because I saw we had the market structure shift, and so he's basically calling out 41.85 right here, 41.85, and then 41.81, which is, this is what I was initially going to be targeting anyways. I was looking for this to be swept. So, and then shortly after, once it starts running up, he notes the 10.21 fair value gap. And to me, this would be bearish. This is a bearish fair value gap right here. So 10.21, which let me pull this back over. This is our 10.21 fair value gap. This is bearish right here. So this would not be, after he calls out lower, he's saying sell side here. Now, I could be wrong. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, but this to me shows that he's flipping, and then he then goes to say it hesitated, and then he's flipping back to the 4,200. And then he was saying this last chance. And then he said he wants 4,200 plus, which it's very confusing, at least to me, where we were targeting this, then it breaks down right here. It doesn't reach it, and he basically said 5 handles is all we're going to get. Calls out sell side, calls out this fair value gap as a bearish. This is that volume imbalance. And then basically once it's up here, he's still like, he's now saying he still wants the buy side. So that was a little flip-floppy for me today. Again, either way, I shouldn't have been trying to trade while class was in session, so that was my fault. But I let these tweets influence how I was trying to trade. So so I mean, I'm not really blaming him, but he did kind of flip flop. At least that's what I saw. So, but anyways, so this sell side here. Let me go through the sell side here. Let me show. Which this was this would have been a short that I wanted to take because I wanted this sell side anyways. So when he basically tweeted out sell side, I was like, yeah, I was already looking for that anyways. So we took out. Let me go. I am on the 30-second. So I had this marked out here, the remaining fair value gap. I entered right at the beginning of that, stop 5 handles, which was above this last fair value gap, and it just ripped up against me. So once that happened, I was basically looking for shorts the rest of the day. I didn't take any other trades. Nothing was really clean for me. After we swept this is all just sideways price action. And then right around 2:30, we dumped. We kind of consolidated again, and then there wasn't really anything good. So you can kind of see what I was looking for at the last hour of trading. I was looking for us to sweep buy side once more and then go down to that 41.81 level, which you can see it did it at like 4:45. So I couldn't have taken a trade during that time anyways. I was looking for right around the 1550. It made a quick movement up, and nothing was good enough for me to enter on this. We were just consolidating in the middle of this range. We did kind of poke above the last hour open, but I wanted it to take out the buy side first. So I was looking to take a short up here. Nothing offered. Excuse me. Nothing offered. So I didn't really end up taking a trade on it. But anyways, yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on if you guys were in that session today. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like he had flip-flopped from long, and he said we got the 5 handles, then called short, and it didn't go short, and then just picked back up at his 4,200 target. But it is what it is. I'm not blaming him. It's definitely my fault that I tried to trade while he was kind of doing his Twitter live stream. I normally don't. That's my off session, but I kind of came in wanting to trade that 10 to 11. Since it is a short week, we do have non-farm payroll. So no trades after the AM session on Wednesday. But we will go into the trade review next. All right, so here we are, AM session. You can see ICT is calling out 4,200, and I have that marked, noting that 10-minute fair value gap. This isn't something that I wanted to trade right away, so just kind of watching that price action here, noting that new week opening gap. We closed the opening range gap, so we ran up and we just kind of swept that. So my eyes was like, okay, well, we have a fair value gap here. We have like another market structure shift. So since we didn't clear that out, I was looking to go long here. So you can see I'm putting in my entry right here on that order block and that fair value gap on the 30-second time frame. And then he notes 5 handles from the 10 a.m. fair value gap, the 10:15, 1 minute here. Just noting that fair value gap. Still have the buy limit marked. 5 handle stop loss here. And at this point, I was looking how we traded down into that 5-minute fair value gap, found support on there. And then so this starts to quickly move close. So my entry was right around that 50% mark from that range low to high. So like I said, I was fine with this entry here. And it starts moving against me quick. And then tagged out. So this was the first loss here. Like I said, this was a little bit of a late entry. We did kind of go up and take buy side, but I was still looking at that 4,200 since we failed on that. You can see he noted 5 is all she said you get. So we have sell side right around 41.88. So I'm going to note the sell side here. So I'm noting that fair value gap. We have some displacement lower. We're kind of just chopping around here. And then he's noting that it's hanging around the new week opening gap, and then calls out sell side, 41.85, 41.81. And from the morning, I was already looking that we didn't clear that out. So I'm like, okay, so we can go down and tap this before we move higher. So I get tagged in right here in that 30-second fair value gap, stop 5 handles. So basically, that would invalidate my trade if we, go up above that stop. And I note here that I'd like this to stay open. And we were at around 50% of the range. And then he noted that 1021 fair value gap, which is a bearish fair value gap, not bullish. And then we did have a SMT on NASDAQ when we swept that high. So that was another confluence of me trying to take a short. And then he was saying that NQ is a mess. And then so I was looking for this to keep pushing down lower. The dollar was ripping higher at this point. So I was not expecting this to go up and take my stop out. Clearly I was wrong on this. And then you can see shortly he'll flip back to. All right, so here we are, TopStep Dashboard. We're back at 707 and 46 cents. Today, minus 509.16. So this is my worst day so far. And then, we just have the 2 trades here. And let's go to the trade log. We're looking at these 2. Scroll over. So this is the long at 1021, and that's a 5-handle loss. And then we have the short at 1032, and that's also a 5-handle loss. Going to our calendar here for the day, and I didn't link. I need to link these real quick. Okay, so here's the screenshots that I took while the trade was going on. So this was the first trade that I was looking to go long. And here is the trade that I went short. Let's go to the economic calendar. So we have motor vehicle sales tomorrow. Looks like FOMC meetings begin. So we have factory orders and JOLTS at 10. Wednesday, we have ADP employment report, and then we have the day before non-farm payroll and NFP on Friday. So really, there should be I shouldn't be taking any trades after the AM session on Wednesday. So that's just the normal standard operating procedure for the NFP week. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one.